Hello and welcome to YourTown television program. I'm your host, Paula Joy MacNab. I am an absolutely privileged person this morning to get to interview two amazing, amazing women who are making such a difference in our community and in our lives. I'd like to welcome to the program Shary Farr and Michelle Wilsdon. They work in Partners for Transitions. I'm going to blow that, so I'm going to let them do it. Welcome to the program, ladies.
Thank you, Paula.
I told you that that's it.
Thank
so tell
you.
me the proper name of your business.
It's Partners for Transitions.
I got it kind of right.
You did.
I kind of
You
right.
did.
Well, you know. Tell us what Partners for Transition is, Shary.
We are a small business that provides preparation and partnership for aging, illness, and end of life. Our mission is really to deal with the personal and the practical aspects of helping people plan for their future, with the idea that if we prepare for aging and illness and end of life, we will do them better. And certainly it is a gift to those that are left behind. I think we tend to go into our future without a conversation, without making plans that are compatible with our financial resources and with the wishes and concerns of the people that are around us. We tend to do a lot of crisis management, and our job is to gentle those transitions as best we can.
Well, because you're so right. We're all going to deal with dying and death.
That's
It's
right.
part of the natural process, and it's
That's
actually,
right.
in my opinion, not a bad thing. You know,
Yeah.
It's going to come, and so what I am so intrigued about your work, and both of your work, is that you are accepting what is and creating a graceful, is the word that comes to mind.
Thank you.
Way
I
to,
like that word.
to deal and to, not do it by crisis management. So how did you get into this? This is not exactly something you would wake up and go, let me think, I'm going to help people die.
I've wanted to work around death and dying since I was 6 years old.
Okay, well, I'm wrong. She did.
And I can't explain it. I was interested
called.
when I could read. I was interested in reading the Childcraft Encyclopedia that had all kinds of articles on death in Egypt, because they seem to
Interesting.
revere death.
Yes.
And they seem to treat it in ways that other countries did not. And I was fascinated by that. I also have always felt that I've been here before.
Yes.
And I've always believed in life after death. And when I looked at the adults in my life, I thought they were doing so much to make this very inevitable transition more difficult, because they were succumbing to their fears. And so it made death and dying even more difficult.
Shary, in your studies of this, and I'm fascinated to hear that you really are that one person on the planet who always knew you wanted to do this.
Always.
That's
Just always wanted to do it. And
beautiful.
I couldn't figure out until Elizabeth Kubler-Ross
Yes.
came along, how can I take this passion and turn it into an occupation?
And who is Elizabeth Kubler-Ross?
Elizabeth Kubler-Ross was a psychiatrist who worked at the University of Chicago, and she interviewed dying patients, and she gave them a voice. And it was a huge gift, I think, to society, and she wrote many books, but she really humanized death and dying and empowered people to speak their truth, which made it better for the person that was dying, and certainly better for the family members and their friends. She really did. She brought grace to the end of life.
Oh, absolutely. A huge service. I remember, this is not something I talk about on air very much, but I am a registered nurse, and I remember when I was in training and reading her work and just resonating so deeply, because I was dealing with people in a crisis situation in intensive care and coronary care. Some of them did pass on, some did die. And it was such a different, it was a paradigm shift for me to look at this whole reality. And it kind of gives you a sense of peace about it.
It does.
Shary, why do you think we're so afraid of death?
I've thought about that a lot, Paula, and I think part of it is certainly in our culture here in the United States, we are so used to being in control of our lives. And death is the one thing we can't control. And I think it absolutely terrifies us. I think we've been given a lot of evidence that there is life after death.
Yes.
But, you have to be looking for that to investigate it and to believe it. I think it's such an unknown that people can't imagine having anything in their lives that is so final, and yet, no proof of what really happens when we die. And so we carry a lot of fear of death with us, even when we're not aware of carrying it. I think it zaps a lot of energy from us.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
In our everyday lives.
Yeah.
And anything that we can do to diminish that fear, Michelle and I are committed to doing that, even if it's completing a notebook where you can just put all your information, which gives you a sense of being anchored in the world and being organized, so if you are in a crisis, somebody knows where those things are.
Right, and this is such a powerful tool, and I'm so delighted to get a chance to hear about. Michelle, what is the notebook?
So the Altogether Notebook is a compilation of, it's divided into 5 different subjects. So personal, household, financial, legal, and then personal transitions. And so what it does is it ensures and it gives people security, like Shary was talking about, but it also assists their loved ones to know information if they need to be taking over for someone if they're not able to do it for themselves.
Well, and there's so many aspects of that, because the reality is that when we go, there are people who have to deal with what we've left.
That's true.
And what a beautiful thing. Speak more about the notebook.
Well, it's really wonderful for people because they do feel empowered.
Absolutely.
They're able to get their wishes down. They're also, the book, what it addresses is where are your important papers and are they updated? Even to who's going to take care of your pets.
Yes.
If you're not able to do that.
Yes.
Lists, your important people, doctors, all of those things that it's important for people to know, but also they're important people that are going to be caring for them or just being their advocate. And we also, in the book, we can scan wills and trusts, and it's just a multitude of different things. The book is about 105 pages, but everybody's book is different because everyone has different topics that are important to them.
Well, and what a gift that you're giving to those who you love and love you. My gosh, you can't give a bigger gift, I think, of this is what I want, make it easy instead of a huge burden on the people left dealing with it, because we do have to deal with it. What an amazing gift.
Well, it is. And then the personal transitions part of the book, that's a section where people start talking about where they want to go, maybe if they can't live independently. And that's a huge burden to put on their loved ones.
Oh my gosh,
because you don't want to make the wrong decision for your loved ones. So it people start thinking about, well, what is important to me and what is it that I want? And they take that burden off of the people that will be making choices.
So how do people start this process? If they're watching this program or they hear about you and they're intrigued, what do they do, Shary?
Well, you start with Chardonnay.
Yeah, well,
it's such a hard, it's
that
such
works
a difficult
for me.
subject.
That works for me.
They can call us at 235-4988, and we start by having a conversation with our clients. I like to start with what are their 3 greatest concerns when they think about their future. For some people, it's they may be comfortable about the end of their life, but they're really concerned about, as Michelle was mentioning, where are they going to go if they need assisted care and skilled care. We will take them on a tour of the different facilities. Oh, yes. Because then they get to really see what the different facilities are like, and they get to make a choice, first and second and third choices. And then we talk about are their financial resources compatible with the choices that they've made. And I've been to most of the facilities on the peninsula, and even with my own family, I've said, it's okay if you put me here or here, but if you put me here, I'm going to come back and haunt you.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
This is why I like her so much.
Me too.
So, and each of those conversations that we have with our clients, diminishes their fear about
shines the
getting
light on
older,
it.
about getting sick. And our clients and their families have just said, thank you so much. Because it's so difficult to address these issues anyway.
Right.
To do it by yourself is really hard. It
Mm-hmm.
raises all kinds of fears.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we start to look at these questions in our life, like
Right.
where am I going to go if I need assisted care, and what mortuary is my family going to use, to do that alone is hard.
Daunting.
We need somebody to just walk with us
Yeah.
on that path.
Be an advocate and a companion.
Yes, so we start with the conversation, and then Michelle provides the notebook, which she does so beautifully, and can put that information on a flash drive, so it's easy for our client to access the information. Then we encourage them to really think about the choices that they're making in terms of the people that they want to serve on their behalf. Sometimes we choose somebody to be our executor, successor trustee, power of attorney for finances, because we think we should choose that person.
Right.
But it may not be the person that we're really compatible with and that really knows us.
And can really execute what we wish.
That's right.
The way we wish it. What a great
And
point.
sometimes we're asking a lot of people in terms of responsibility.
It's huge.
But because we're afraid of these conversations, we tend not to educate and empower those people that are going to act on our behalf.
Right.
If we want somebody to do that for us, we need to ask them, are you willing to be my agent for health care? Are you willing to be my executor for my will? And if you are, I want you to know, because I'm going to write you a letter telling you what is important to me, and I'm going to appreciate you for taking on this responsibility. So after people do the notebook, the other thing we do is have them write love letters to those that will be left behind. And not just say to somebody, I love you.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to be forever thanking Michelle for being my partner
Yes,
and doing
indeed.
this with me. But if I
Indeed.
really
Yeah,
care about her,
yeah.
which I do deeply, she will have a letter from me.
Right, right. And you actually informed me the other day when we spoke, Shary, and I was so appreciative. I am beginning this journey of doing these things because I recognize how powerful it is, and to do the actual getting it out of my head and heart onto paper
Which is great.
or a flash drive. And I was thinking that there's something called the 5 wishes. Five wishes.
5 wishes.
And you educated me a little bit about some of its limitations. Can you tell our viewing audience what that is and what might be a better choice, or
The 5 wishes is an advanced healthcare directive.
and explain that, please?
Okay, this is a directive that each of us can and should do. Anyone over 18 years of age should do this, which enables us to express our end-of-life wishes. It also enables us to appoint someone who was referred to in the form as our agent for healthcare. That is the person that would make our end-of-life wishes, have the conversation with the doctor according to our wishes as we put it down in the form. There is a form now that Community Hospital is using. It does what 5 Wishes does,
Right.
but it's called the Advanced Healthcare Directive, which is very much
Perfect.
like what the 5 Wishes is.
Okay.
We used to use the 5 Wishes a lot, and then had a difficult situation with a mortuary here locally, where the mortuary would not accept that form, which was appointing somebody not just to have been our client's agent for end-of-life wishes, but they would not accept that same person who was agent to authorize the disposition of the remains for our client.
So that form has some limitations,
It
is what
does.
I'm hearing you
It
say.
does. That's
so
right.
the Community Hospital form Advanced Care Directive
Right.
is one that you
It
find...
addresses that.
Thank
It
you for
addresses the
that.
ability to do the end-of-life wishes for someone, but also to have the authority for the
Right.
disposition of the remains.
Right. No, that's an important distinction, which I was not aware of.
Well, we weren't either, and I have been teaching classes in this, and all of a sudden had the experience of going to a mortuary, said, I'm sorry, we will not accept this. Well,
Wow.
it made for a very difficult
Yes.
meeting with the
Yes.
mortuary and for my client's son.
of course. So, Michelle, to go back to the notebook a bit, what is the time frame? I mean, it's like many things, you know, we should all floss our teeth and do a lot of good things. But what, realistically, for someone to begin this journey of working with you, the two of you, and bringing this notebook in, what can someone expect in terms of time commitment and cost? There has to be a cost to it, and not to quote an exact fee, but give us an idea, because people think, we make up all kinds of stories about things.
Right. That's a great question. And I wish that it could be a more definite, this is how much you would pay, but everybody is different. Every book is different.
Can you give some ballpark in the last couple minutes we have? I mean, is it...
You know, it just, there's such a range, because for some people, they don't have a whole lot that they put in the book. Maybe there's certain things that are not that important to them, because as I said earlier, everybody's book is their personal story.
So it can start as a very brief,
it can start
basic framework.
If you just have a checking account and a bicycle, you're not going to need the whole notebook.
Right, okay.
But then we have other books, you know, other people do their books and they're over 200 pages because there's all these wonderful things they want to put in it. So what I typically do when I work with clients is I go and I meet with them, and we just do it for about an hour.
Okay.
Because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yes. And so I maybe like an hour a week, maybe an hour every 2 weeks, and then I come back and we just plow through it. Through the book there is some redundancy, so that's where I can do that when I'm not at their home and take care of
So you can help guide and really personalize this. So what I'm hearing you say is not to be afraid of this daunting thing. It can be start very basic and be built upon. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And by the end of the book, there is such a feeling of happiness and control.
Yeah.
And so when people complete their book, then they can put it on their shelf or put it in their safe.
Sure.
And they don't have to worry about it. We do check in at least once a year, maybe twice, because there'll be changes. Obviously, we change our doctors or addresses or whatever it is.
Right.
Change your mind.
Yeah.
And so when we do it on the flash drive, it's really easy to change.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So tell us again, because I want people to really be able to reach you, Shary, the phone number or the email. How can someone reach you who's watched this program and has further questions?
They can call me directly.
Okay.
Area code 831-235-4988. And the business name is Partners for Transitions.
Excellent.
And our email is very long. It's Sharon at partnersfortransitions.com.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you both so much. This has been a real gift to me, and I think to our audience. You're very courageous women, and we're blessed to have you. Thank you so much. And
thank you
for
Paula.
joining us. It's just again wonderful opportunity to share and get insights into things we wouldn't ordinarily know about. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paula Joy MacNab. This has been Your Town television program.